did you feel? And I just, being in WWE and talking to many women who knew my story, they asked me so many questions about how did you deal with being a single mom and raising two girls and, going through the drug addictions and the alcohol and still having to, put on the face, whenever y'all were in public. And so there's a lot of people that were living the same life that wanted answers. And so I thought my book would be something that was real and truthful, and also a lot of love that I showed for Eddie. And it'd be a message for everyone else to take a little bit of advice or a piece of it and use it for their own life.
I love that, because you're basically saying, here, now you're finally going to hear, see, and feel my side of what happened in my life. I'm sharing it with you, good or for bad. May it help you in some way. It's not a one size fits all, but this is what I found. Maybe it'll help somebody else. I think that's tremendous. That's really heartfelt.
Yeah. And, people may not like my story, and of course, we talked a little bit about that, at social media and how people's opinions are. But like my editor said, this is my story and it's not for anyone to approve. This is not for you to look for approval. This is how you handled your life. And I think that's really important, because you have to live your life with truth and to love yourself first. And when you do that, everything else will where it's supposed to.
I'm glad that you said that, because I think that even if someone's not a parent, if they're not in the business, if they're not even a woman, if they're a guy, it doesn't matter what you're saying about loving yourself. It applies to everyone, no matter their age, race, gender, ethnicity, political, religious affiliation, doesn't matter.
Yes.
And I think that's awesome, because like we were talking about on your podcast, that's one of the hardest things to do. And man, I feel like it still is a daily thing, because like you were saying, there's people that want to insert their own opinion on your life or tell you how your life actually was. And it's like, wait a second, I was the one living it.
Yeah, and it's really funny how people, as fans, I appreciate the fans. Without the fans, I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's a very narrow, lane that we have to walk as celebrities and superstars. But at the same time, this is my truth and this is my life. And, when people would kind of insert what they think is wrong with me or how I should have handled things differently, I can't give power to that, because that's how I handled it. And, and did I make some bad decisions? Yes. Did I make great ones? Did I make good ones? Yes. But you learn from that. And I think that for me to call myself human, you have to, you give and take the good and bad, and that's how you get stronger for the next day.
Absolutely. My mother said the same thing. I grew up for a while with just, a single mom, and she was navigating the waters of trying to figure out how to do this sort of thing after my dad left. And she's like, wait, how do I even be a parent? Am I doing a good job? What am I doing with this whole life thing? And am I royally messing up my child permanently? Am I showing her what a good person is? There's all these different questions that not just go along with being a better person than you were the day before, but also being a good parent and a good influence. And I think with self-love, you become better at all of those things. But there's so many people trying to tell you how to do that. And it's very hard to be like, no, wait, I got to do this myself. You aren't me. I got to figure this out.
I agree. Yes, that's very true.
It's still, I can't stress this enough. I try to talk about it with everyone. So I'm going to ask you, roughly how long did it really take for you? And if you're still working on that, that's quite okay. I know I am. But how long did it take you to really, truly learn how to love yourself and then use that to be bettering yourself every day? How long did that process take you?
Oh, that's a good question, Taeler, because, I write in my book that before Eddie passed, when he passed up, we were 38 years old. And so I didn't have an identity. And I recognized that because I was only known as Eddie's wife, Eddie's, Eddie's, spouse, or is Eddie home? I mean, it was hardly, I was never called upon by my name of Vickie or, personalized by other people. And it probably was maybe after I retired from WWE in 2014 that I just got to be still and reflect on the good part of WWE and being a part of that great world that I loved and to perform. But I think life got really real because I didn't have the paycheck anymore that I was getting each week, and I wasn't having the fame, and I wasn't on stage. And you tend to get humble because if you're really happy with your life, you're gonna be okay. And there were some difficult times that after I left the big stage and I was working in a medical office. That 9 to 5 mentality was kind of weird, and I was like, because I got like 3 days off, and I was on the road for the rest of it, and so it's a very fast pace. And so to have that monotony of work, to get up at 5:30 and be at work by 7, and work till 6, and come home, and then you do it all over again was very different. So to love myself, I think it was probably after 2015 that I was enjoying my girls, because they were older, and enjoying myself because I could sleep at night, and I had my own house, and I was able to not have the pressure of the wrestling industry, to define who I was. And I started to learn about me, about what my needs and wants were, and what I wanted in life. And so it's still a learning process. I mean, I'm 51. I'm going to be 52 on the 16th of April. And, and I feel like I'm 25.